LeBron, just what was going through your mind when you saw the video and the ovation and everything, considering everything that you've been through and experienced in this city?
Okay, is this TC?
Yes, please. Yeah, because it connects to the TV truck. Thank you.
I don't know. Didn't expect that, but obviously a lot of memories here, a lot of history. So just super grateful and thankful, for the time, spent here and the memories. Obviously looked up there. I remember that moment like it was yesterday. Obviously underdog going against that Detroit Pistons team, and for us to win that game and then ultimately winning Game 6, I believe, here and going to the NBA Finals, it was a pretty cool moment.
Are you kind of, as you've gone through this season, you've talked to us about the moments that you have like sort of like found yourself reflecting more. Was there more of that tonight? And what were some of the, if so, what were some of the things, like you mentioned the Detroit game, were there anything else that you'll take with you from tonight?
Well, obviously, my teammate who I won the championship with, did the knife, took the knife out, RJ took the knife out of the thing. Obviously the moment they put up there with their, the Detroit game, looking up in the rafters at, seeing our championship banner. So, yeah, of course, it was a lot of reflecting for sure.
Was that what you looked up at pregame?
No, I was trying to find my mom. She was in the suite up there, and I was able to find her and the rest of my family. So that was a cool moment, too.
LeBron, considering the fact that you're not under contract for next year, and again, we've used the term unprecedented for being in year 23, on the way here during the game, at any point do you think like that this could be the last game I play here, so I better soak it in?
Yes. That's every road arena that I've been in, I think I talked about that just trying to take everything in, not take the moments for granted, because it could be, I obviously haven't made a decision on the future, but it very well could be. So, no matter if it's here or, going to Washington, playing the next game, Garden, Barclay, on this trip. So obviously it means a little bit more here for me personally because of, grew up, 35 minutes south of here. But yeah.
Sorry. Not only for you, but this is also homecoming for your son. Just what was it like to watch him get the crowd reception that he did at the end of this game?
It was pretty cool just sitting over there and watching him just continue to live out his dream. Obviously, it's a homecoming for him, like you mentioned, and to see him, get that fast break dunk, hit a couple shots, get the ovation from the fans, pretty cool moment for him, for us as a family, for us, for my wife and, his siblings. Just, super cool. Like my mom is here watching her son and her grandson. Like, I don't even know how to even, like, wrap that all in one in my brain, and it's so weird and so cool and so surreal, my mom get to watch her son and her grandson play in the NBA at the same time. Shit. I actually just started to think about how insane that is. Yeah, that's awesome.
LeBron, you acknowledge the uncertainty about your future and not knowing what's going to come next, but even if you don't share it publicly, because of how much this city and this organization means to you, do you want to know beforehand whether it would be your last time? Do you want to have that decision beforehand?
What do you mean?
Would you want to know coming into the arena or coming before playing here that you knew it would be your last time? It doesn't even matter to you.
I don't know, because I don't know what the future holds. Obviously, I'm like I've stated to Dave, earlier. I just think, just trying to, just like I said, live in the moment and just not, take for granted the opportunity of being present. Especially in year 23, I could very easily think about the future and, year 12 and, year 14, even 15, but, as the years stack on and stack on and stack on more, I think it's more of a precedent for me to kind of just be present in the moment, no matter win, lose, or draw. Obviously, I hate the way, we played tonight, but, that happens in the NBA season. But, for me, just being present, with the moment at hand. So that is, where I'm at.
It was 8 years ago when we talked, and you said that you didn't have anything left to prove. And then, of course, you become scoring champ. You won a title. You played with Bronny. But is there something that still keeps you going? And then also, if this is it, LeBron, you didn't have a goodbye tour. Why wouldn't that have been important to you?
To answer your first question, if you want me to be completely honest with you, 8 years ago, when I left to go to LA, I would have, if you would have asked me, would I still be playing in 2026, I would have said no. After going to 10 straight finals, or 8 straight finals, what is it? Eight straight finals. After going to 8 straight finals and with all the energy and all the mental toll and the physical toll that it took on me and obviously my teammates, for Miami, for here. If you would have asked me if I was going to be playing 8 years later, I'd have said no. There's no way I could have foresee that. A couple more years, yeah, I can go out and play at a high level for a couple more years, but 8 years, no. I don't really. I have not even thought to the point of like a farewell tour or whatever the case may be, because I haven't had the conversation with myself and my family on when is it over. So that has not even. I think that will come after that.
LeBron, you mentioned RJ and being here and some of the memories that went through your head and that tribute. We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the Cavs champion. Is it hard to believe that it's already been a decade? And when you look back at it at this point, what do you think about?
Yeah, I looked at some of our assistant coaches why RJ was, is that like a tradition they doing that now here? They pulled a knife out? Okay, cool. I looked at some of our assistant coaches on the bench and I was like, it's kind of crazy that I'm watching my teammate that I won a championship from 10 years ago, and now he's an analyst, and I'm still playing. And it is super, super crazy to think about that. But a lot of us are still on a group chat, myself, Channing, RJ, Tristan, K-Love. And we got some plans for our 10-year reunion that will be finalized after the season, Kev's season, my season. And it'd be good to see those guys again.
Hey, LeBron. This is your 8th time playing against the Cavs since you joined the Lakers, so it's your 8th tribute video. But this one seemed to hit you harder.
I was talking to TT about that earlier, too. It's funny.
Why did this one hit you harder, and when's the last time you got choked up like that?
I think it's just come from just being present. I was just more present today than I've been over the previous 7. It wasn't like, it wasn't the highlights that was going on. Obviously, that's a great memory for me, but I was young. I had no idea. I was just out there just being ultra competitive. I think I was 22 in that video. Some of the previous videos, I think one they showed us actually winning a championship too. So that video would have, if I was going to get emotional, it would have probably been that one. But I just, like I said, just being present in the moment, and definitely got to me a little bit, for sure. And I was, like I said, super thankful.
Why were you more present this time?
Because, like I stated, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, 8 years ago, 2000, what was it, 18, 19, I knew I was going to be playing another game here. 2019, 20, I knew I was going to be playing another game here. And like I said, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously. So I'm just trying to live in the moment, and like I said, I don't know if it's my last game here or not at this moment. So that helps. And then I look down on the bench and see my 21-year-old son in uniform as well. It's super cool.
LeBron, since the merger, there's only been really one Hall of Famer playing high minutes on a championship team in their last season. Generally, it's just really hard for guys to stick the landing. Why do you think that is?
Stick the landing as far as what?
End your career on the perfect note.
I don't know. But what's perfect? What defines perfect? I think that's for every individual. I don't think, I don't think whatever brings you the most happiness is what defines perfect for you individually. It's not defined off wins and losses or championship here or all-star here, whatever the case may be. I think it's defined and what makes you happy in your last season or whatever season that you feel complete. So I'm not quite sure how to answer that, but I just think it's all personal.
The last
two, and then a follow-up with Dan.
LeBron, you've seen this Cavs team kind of grow from a distance. You've seen them twice a year. What have you seen with this team compared to the last couple of years and with them growing together and taking those next steps? And do you see any resemblance of what you guys have done here in your 11 years to what they've tried to get to and tried to build on?
I mean, it's a really tough question for me to answer because I don't really like to comment on, I'm not a part of that locker room. I'm not a part of the film sessions, the bus rides, and all that things of that nature. So it's hard for me to comment on it. Obviously, they're a very talented team. Obviously, health is wealth, and they, obviously they want to get healthy. Obviously Evan being out, Darius being out, a couple others being out, so they can be whole. So resemblance with us, no, it's a totally different game as well. What we was able to accomplish in 16 or even just, 14, 15, all the way through 17, 18. We a really good team, a great team, a decent team, surprised some people in 18 to get to the finals with the team that we have, but definitely not in the comparison level of my career. I think it's a disservice to everybody and everybody included.
LeBron, assuming you're still a football fan, and then this cycle of coaches, there's no black coaches that have been hired. What kind of statement you think has been made by that not happening?
I don't know. Like I said, that's you as an organization. I guess you pick the coach that you feel that's best for you to win. And it shouldn't matter what color you are. It shouldn't matter if you're black or white or Latino or whatever. It shouldn't matter. Obviously, our game is represented. When it comes to the NFL, when it comes to NCAA football, you want the best product out there. You want the best coaches to lead lead those young men out there. And it's always great to see black coaches be able, to go out there and I've always had a lot of respect, even though it's a rival for Mike Tomlin. Being a Browns fan, so it sucks to see him go. I did see happiness in his face, him watching his daughter, do gymnastics in Georgia. That was great to see that. But to answer your question, Brands, I don't know, man. Listen, if I have an organization, if I'm a owner of a team or a GM of a team, whatever the case may be, I want the guy that's best qualified, who I feel like is going to help our team be successful. And it don't matter. It shouldn't matter color.
Last question. Dan.
LeBron, you talked about conversations that you've had with yourself about your future. I'm curious this summer when. No. But I was going to ask you. This is when you've asked yourself, why do I want to do this? Yeah. What's that answer been? And has that been a consistent? Has the answer stayed the same throughout this year? Your why?
Yeah. My why has been that I'm still playing this game at a high level, and I still love the process. The process of putting in the work, inspiring, giving what I got to the game, because I'll have more years in my life without it than with it to be able to inspire. I'm not talking about even me personally. I think I've done well for myself on a personal note, but it's been the same. Now, obviously, the question gets asked more, and the thought, creeps in my mind more at 41 years old of when the end is and where's the finish line for us to hang this thing up. So, but the drive on, how much juice I can squeeze out of this orange, and how can I continue to? I'm at a battle with Father of Time, and I'm kind of taking it personal, and I'm going to see how many more times I could be victorious over him, and but I'm not I won't be one of those guys that won't be able to walk off the court. That's for sure. All right, appreciate it.